Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday. How did I forget that? Happy Thursday. Do-over. Oh, how is everybody today? It's day number 30 of 30 non-consecutive days of body mindfulness. But I had some bonus topics that I'm going to do. So next week we'll kind of start wrapping it up and finishing it up. I can't remember how many topics I had left, but yeah, there were things that I thought, oh, I'll just randomly choose it, and then it realized, oh, maybe that's part of the whole thing. So this will be day 30. The rest of the days will just be like bonus days, okay? So let's start off with the Soul Truth cards. We'll just do one of these while I wait for people to come on, and then we'll get right to it. Day number 30, the Seeker. The Seeker. So, what if it was easy? What if it was easy? It doesn't have to be hard. Call in the universe, the stars, the angels, and all their powers, or your higher power. To find the solution. Would you take the next step if it were easy? It's time to expect ease, call in grace, and receive guidance. You are supported. Apparently I suddenly forgot how to read. So again, it doesn't have to be hard. Call in the universe, the stars, the angels, and all of their powers. Find the solution. Would you take the next step if it were easy? It's time to expect ease. Call in grace and receive guidance. You are supported. So whatever it is that you are wanting to do, to go out into this world and do. In fact, it's funny. I was just talking to baby sibling about this morning. Just know that when you put it out there to your higher powers, the people that you hope and pray to, that will guide you, that they will guide you in the right direction. They will put you on the path that you need to be placed on. So today's soul action. List 10 possible ideals for your soul's current calling. Lean into ease. It's here. You just have to say yes to it. So again, list 10 possible ideals for your soul's current calling. Lean into ease. It's here. You just have to say yes to it. So there you go. That's a great card. That is absolutely a great card. So sometimes I think we get into, we get in our own way, right? We get in our own way and we just kind of sit there and go, why can't I do this? And it's because we get into our heads. So what we need to do is not get out of our heads, get into our hearts and start saying, hey, you know what? Higher power, angels, guides, what was it? The universe, the stars, the angels, the higher powers, whoever it is you turn your focus to, and whoever you turn all that to, ask them for guidance and ask them for support. Ask them to help you be able to accomplish these things. Okay. And again, this or something better, because what you think might be meant for you might be something completely different. I mean, I just discovered a path for myself today that is completely out of the realm of thinking from what I initially thought a path could be. So my path could be. So you never know. You surprise yourself sometimes. So anyways, day number 30, the Seeker. So I read this over last night and I really, really liked it. And I thought, we're finishing up the body of body mindfulness, like the 30 days. I thought this was an excellent card. I randomly picked these things and I wrote a bunch of subjects down, and then I've been using a little wheel on my wheel app to select these every week. And I've asked my higher powers, my angels, to really kind of help me with this, to help me guide people through this. So, and if that's not your belief, that's okay. This isn't about what everyone believes in. This is about believing in ourselves. This is about seeing ourselves, loving ourselves, knowing our self-worth, being self-aware to know when we're going down the wrong path of body mindfulness. And it's not about your size. It doesn't matter if you're thick or thin. It's about being positive, about your body. And even on those days when it's hard, it's reminding yourself, hey, you know what? This will get better, but I am lovable. Even in your darkest moment, it's not about being, overly positive or trying to convince yourself to come out of something. No, it's reminding yourself, hey, I'm lovable, I'm amazing, I'm great, I'm this wonderful person when I see in the mirror. And, it helps you find your light, because, the negative stuff is always going to try to pull you back, right? It's going to always try to alter and halt your progress. So It's up to us to really kind of solidify and to really kind of just put into stone how we feel about ourselves. Body mindfulness is about being present in this moment, right now, at this time. It's about saying, hey, you know what? No matter what I think other people see, what matters is what I see. What matters is who I see in the mirror, who I see in that reflection. All other words, there's just jabber. Whether it's a compliment or whether it's someone being negative. If it's a compliment, say thank you. If it's negative, that's somebody else's insecurity. Okay? Don't let their insecurity halt your progress. Don't let their insecurity alter your progress. If you are an emotional eater, or if you're a recovering person who has an eating disorder, if you have a bad day, just get up where you fell. Don't shame yourself. Don't look back. Don't say, hey, oh, I can't believe I just did this. Just pick yourself up, remind yourself it's going to be all right, and that whatever it is you need to work through it. Because that's how we get better. We stop running from what is hurting us. We stop running from what is scaring us, and we face it head on. So, excuse me. The seeker indicates a need for energy, movement, vitality, and excitement. The seeker is childlike at heart and has faith that, at its core, the world is a beautiful place. As we grow older, it is easy to lose touch with our innocence and sense of wonder. We have responsibilities, stressful home and work environments, external pressures, physical sensitivities, and disease. In the end, we get locked into survival mentality and we don't know how to break free. The seeker's message is one of reclamation. It is not so much about ridding yourself of the stress, but remembering your essence. Slowly nurture your sense of wonder to all that is around you. You may feel silly at first, but keep working on it to balance out the negative. Replace statements of, what if everything goes wrong, with, what if everything is exactly as it should be? Balanced seeker energy is one of empowerment, curiosity, and feeling confident to navigate both the external and internal worlds. Oops, sorry, that was my poor reading there. If seeker is out of balance, you may be a bit untethered. You may be pushing yourself onto the next thing, thinking that may be your cure. An unbalanced seeker energy may also give their power away to others. As seekers, we must remember that we are gathering experiences and wisdom for growth, but not because we believe it is a prescription to fix our perceived issues. So, sorry about reading that last part. I think sometimes when I kind of stumble over things, I think it might be something that I still need to learn. So, we're gonna go through this paragraph by paragraph. But yeah, sometimes I think I've noticed when it's things that I trip over when I'm reading, it's just something that's in my head saying, all the bells and whistles go off saying, ding, 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 this is something you need to remember. So let's go back over the first paragraph. The seeker indicates a need for energy, movement, vitality, and excitement. The seeker is childlike at heart and has faith that, at its core, the world is a beautiful place. As we grow older, it is easy to lose touch with our innocence and sense of wonder. So, in I believe they were called the Seekers in Harry Potter, right? The ones that go after the little golden snitch. And in a way, they're kind of, that there's whole world is buzzing around them and they're just going after like two people trying to go after the same thing. And in a way, that's kind of what this is trying to tell us. We have to seek out that that need for energy, movement, and vitality, that childlike part of us, this we have to remember that inner floof and have faith that at its core, this world is a beautiful place. Sure, there's all kinds of things that try to muck it up. Politics, religion, and I'm not saying that's bad. What I'm talking about are the table topics, right? That are usually off limits. Nobody talks about religion at the table. Nobody talks about politics. Because a lot of times that can just tear people apart. But it becomes a point of just, yeah, I mean, it can ignite the wrong kind of fires. But as the whole, we have to learn to say, you know what, let's agree to disagree. Let's not talk about this because we don't agree with each other. And, re-find that beautiful place that you live in. I mean, there are times when people of opposite beliefs can talk to each other. But if you know whether you're one of those people that can't, or somebody you're about to talk to can't, just don't do it. Don't engage. because, the negative energies always want us to engage. I mean, I'm calling them negative energies because, there's always something in us that says, well, I have to be right, even when we're not normally like that. I mean, there are things in this world that just push us and push us and push us and poke at us to just do dumb things and to say bad things and to say mean things, or that kind of just hit our insecurities and just make us spit it out at somebody else. Or if we're angry, just stuff can just, sit there and again, we're spewing stuff at people that don't deserve it and saying things we don't mean. Because, hurt people. And I know a lot of people don't like that saying, but I've been that person. I've been that person who was a hurt person that hurt people because of all the stuff I was going through, all the trauma that I kept a secret, all the pain that I had pushed down for so many years, just bubbling up like, just an overflowing cup of emotions, but the wrong kind of emotions, the angry emotions, because I couldn't face what I needed to face. And, once we sit down and we start looking into that inner child, people always say, oh yeah, put your inner child to rest. But sometimes we have to heal that inner child. We have to heal whatever you want to call it. That internal angst that you have, that internal trauma you have, we have to find a way to heal it. And whatever way works for you is the best way. I only give my perspective on things. I will give my perspective on things and how I've handled it, but that doesn't mean that's the right way for somebody else. It just means that we have to trust ourselves enough to know what is best for ourselves. So let's see. As we grow older, it is easy to lose touch with our innocence and sense of wonder. We lose our inner child. We have responsibilities, stressful home and work environments, external pressures, physical sensitivities, and disease. Yeah, I mean, there could be, older sibling and I were talking about yesterday. I have this weird gluten allergy, but it's not really a gluten allergy. When I get stressed or if I'm upset and I try to eat anything with gluten in it, my throat starts to close. But I notice when I'm calm and relaxed, it's okay. I can handle it. I mean, you can feel it. I feel a little bit of a twinge, but I can handle it. And so other people say, well, you don't have an allergy. No, I probably don't. But for some reason, the way my body chemicals go when I'm like Mount Vesuvius and feeling a little tense and uptight and just stressed out, it doesn't work well with my body functions. So it's just kind of like, ooh, and nobody wants to be choked by a sandwich, right? Excuse me. So, but yeah, stress can cause, and stress can cause physical sensitivities and disease. Believe it or not, it can. I mean, stress can cause, not just the way you eat can cause a heart attack or a stroke or stuff like that. Stress can be a big factor in that. Stress can be a big factor in your blood pressure. I have a great blood pressure. I'm very fortunate and very grateful that my numbers, knock on wood, come in really well all the time. Some of them might be borderline, but some of them just come in really, really well. And, people look at me and go, how's that possible? But I don't know. I'm an anomaly. Maybe I'm part alien. No idea. But I'm from the mothership needs to come back for me. But no, seriously though. I think a lot of it is that, when we learn to control our stress, when we learn to learn kind of go with the flow, right? We're not stressing out over every single thing. That can change a lot of how we look at things. Maybe you don't become that person or maybe, recovering from your eating disorder or which could also include emotional eating, becomes a little easier because you're not feeding your feelings, or you're not, letting go of you're not purging your feelings either. I'm trying to do this sensitively because those are very sensitive topics, and I don't think they're talked about enough. They're very stigmatized. So, but that being said, we can cause a lot of external pressures can put a lot of hardcore damage, onto our bodies. It can really, it can create a lot of havoc inside and a lot of craziness inside. So that doesn't mean that, you shouldn't be healthy or whatever you want to call it, or, just what I'm saying is that it's not just always what we eat or what we intake. It's sometimes how we handle situations. And, when it comes to body mindfulness, that's a big thing, because, we can stress out about the way we look. And, that can cause more stress, which could lead to a lot of the bad habits coming up. Maybe something's not happening fast enough. Maybe you're not doing this. Maybe someone's giving you a hard time. Maybe someone's making comments. There's always something. That's why when we have this body mindfulness, we have to know up here that it really starts in here, in your brain. It starts with everything in your brain. When somebody says something to you, again, don't let their insecurities, alter your progress or halt your progress. Don't let somebody's, cruel words halt your progress. Just as long as you know that you love yourself, that your self-love is super strong, that can really help strengthen your body mindfulness. You're just like, you know what? I'm happy being the way I am. Or, I'm working on this. But you don't owe anyone an explanation. You can just tell people, you know what? How about you mind your own business? And you can say it nicely. I know. I don't know if somebody else came up with this word, but yesterday I told sibling that I said my snarkasm is coming, like I get snarky and I get sarcastic sometimes, but my snarkasm is coming back in full bloom. So, I have a tend to be snarky and have sarcasm. I'd be like, you know what? It's none of your business. So bite me. But yeah, probably approach that a little better than I do. So, but, and I'm not going to say it doesn't hurt my feelings, but I have to say that I have to recover faster. I have to let things go. I have to let other people's opinions not affect me, because one of the best things sibling ever taught me was what other people think of you is none of your business. What other people think of you is none of your business. You may think that it's your business, but it's not, because it's not true. And if it is true, maybe it's something you need to work on. But what other people think of you is none of your business. And, that's their issue. That's their problem. But like I said, if it does ring true, it might be something you need to work on. So, like my snarkasm. But anyways, let's see. In the end, we get locked into survival mentality and we don't know how to break free. I really think that that's a thing. Survival. Obviously it's a thing. It's in the book. But survival mentality, when I read this and I wrote it down the other day, and then when I read it again yesterday, it was like, oh my God, it's like all these bells went off in my head. Because I think that's what we all kind of get into. But we call it a rhythm. We call it a routine. But when we're doing the same thing over and over and over again, and we're finding that we're not happy doing the same thing over and over again, and it's just kind of like, yeah, this is my life, I do this, I do that, blah, blah, blah. That feels to me like survival mentality. That feels to me that you're not living your true purpose, that you're not living how you want to live. Or if you're constantly dieting, trying to be the perfect shape to fit into society's standards, whether you like it or not, that's a survival mentality. Some people diet to lose a few pounds to fit into a dress. That's great. But when, I'm going to say this from both ends, from thick and thin. Okay. Because like I said, I was talking about a friend the other day that had to gain weight in order to have a surgery that she desperately needed. And it was hard for her and it was stressful for her and it drove her nuts. She's like, I just don't get it. I'm eating everything and I just can't keep the weight on. And she had to have the surgery because the surgery what was causing this weight loss. And, it's like, but then you have on the other spectrum, you have people like, you know what? Somebody said something horrible to me. You might be doing great. You're eating better. I hate diets. I do not promote diets. I will never promote diets because diets do not work. You have to change it up here. Body mindfulness is about changing the way you think about who you see in the mirror. Okay, right now in this moment. Oh, good morning, baby sibling. Welcome. So anyways, but we do get locked into survival mentality. And, and again, so as we grow older, it is easy to lose touch with our innocence and sense of wonder. We have responsibilities, stressful home and work environments, external pressures, physical sensitivities, and disease. In the end, we get locked into survival mentality and we don't know how to break free. At some point, you either got to step off the hamster wheel or throw yourself off the hamster wheel. Because if you don't, you're going to be stuck in survival mentality. And believe it or not, when you step off the hamster wheel, the same things can come at you, but they may not be as stressful because you're leaning in to realizing, hey, this may be my life, but I can organize it, I can figure out what I need to do, I can prioritize, and somehow, in some way, all of these things will start to not stress me out as much. So we tend to get harried in our everyday life. We tend to, I mean, there were things that when I was working that I would see, be like, oh my gosh, it's like, how am I ever going to get all this done? And then I would just take a deep breath. And by the end of the day, my pile was gone. It's like, oh, look at that. Sometimes we get intimidated by how much work we feel we have in front of us. But when we're able to figure out whatever magic trick it is that you use to make yourself focus, we can figure that out. So and again, you're probably like, what does that have to do with body mindfulness? Stress can ruin the way you look at yourself. Body mindfulness for a lot of people comes down to their size. And like I said, body negativity doesn't give a shit about what size you are. It doesn't care if you're a 0 or a 24. It does not. It doesn't care. If it can poke at you and say, hey, hate yourself, and you do, it's working. It doesn't matter what size you are. Okay, it doesn't matter how tall you are, how short you are, what shoe size you wear, what dress size you wear, what pants size you wear. It doesn't care. But body mindfulness, it wants to give you a big hug. Okay, it's more than just being body positive. Being body positive, in a way, I think body mindfulness comes before body positivity. Because in body mindfulness, like I said, we're learning how to love ourselves in this moment, at this time. The reflection we see in the mirror, we're not shaming ourselves for eating something fabulous one day. Just, like I said, every so often, just, you got to do it. And don't shame yourself. If you cave and you have something that may not be on your registered list of things that you've chosen to eat right now, that's all right. Get up where you decided to do that and just start going back from there. But when we deny ourselves, it makes it harder. When we deny ourselves and we have these cravings, it just makes it worse. My cardiologist always loves to tell me, you don't have to deny your cravings. It's all about portion control. I mean, if you get this and you get that, just eat half of it and save the rest for later. It's portion control. I mean, obviously we're not going to eat like that every single day. But, we're humans. We have needs. There's things that we like to do. Sometimes we like to indulge, and we should not shame ourselves for indulging. And with body mindfulness, like I said, if you indulge one day, you look in the mirror and go, I can't believe I did that. Just say, you know what? I really enjoyed that. Tomorrow's a new day. Don't shame yourselves. That's what brings us down. But once we become mindful of who we see in the mirror and who we love in the mirror, no matter what, in this moment at this time, when you get off of this video and you go look in the mirror, you pass your reflection and say, hey, you know what? You're pretty amazing. Or I love that person I see in my reflection. I love this person. Because you are your best relationship. You are your number one main relationship because you are with you every single moment of every single day. And if you're hurting yourself, if you're shaming yourself, you have to think about that. Think about it. If you passed yourself in the reflection, would you say that to somebody else? Would you say what you're about to say to yourself to somebody you really care about? Maybe we got to look at it that way. Would you put them down? Probably not. But if they asked you for help, you'd be like, all right, I'm right there. I'm there for you to lean on. I'm there for you to, we don't even have to say anything. I'm just there for you to lean on, and I will help you through this. But you're not going to shame them unless you're a jerk, or drunk sometimes. But yeah, you wouldn't say that to somebody else, not in your right mind, unless they ask. Now, I'm telling you right now, if you were asking someone to be honest with you, you can't get mad if they tell you the truth. Now, if you're the person being asked, there are a lot of nice ways to say things. All right, you don't have to sit there and go, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. No, just be nice. Just say, you know what? Or you could even just say, you know what? I don't really want to answer that. I'm not comfortable with that. Because if you're asking me the question, it's possible you already know the answer. And sometimes that's just the best way to deflect. If you're asking me, you obviously know the answer. But it's like, I'm not here to give you my thoughts. I'm here to be here for you while you figure out your own. And sometimes it's all we need. It's just someone to help us figure out our own crap. All right, so the next paragraph. The seeker's message is one of reclamation. It's time to reclaim who you are. It is not so much about ridding yourself of the stress, but remembering your essence. So again, we just talked about this in the previous paragraph. It's about finding a way to stabilize your life, your daily life, but also reclaiming who you are. Reclaiming your essence, not letting the world barrel down on you and just push you down like, a little thumbtack, right? It's about taking your power back. It's about being who you are, loving who you are, and saying, hey, you know what? Yeah, this is just this moment in this time. This is what I do to make money. This is what I do to get healthier. This is what I do to get my brain better. This is what I do to repair whatever injuries I might have. And it can be stressful, but we have to remember who we are inside. Are we this walking ball of stress, or are we this amazing human being walking around dealing with stress? You get to choose. You have to rediscover your essence. You have to rediscover who you are and remind yourself that you can handle anything. Okay, sometimes I look at the things that I've done in my life, including some spiritual things, and I'm like, wow, you know what? I did all that, but I'm stressing out over this tiny thing? Oh, seriously. And it puts it into perspective for me. And sometimes I don't always have perspective. Sometimes the perspective takes a couple of days to knock me upside the head. But as long as you get there, that's what matters. That's why we journal. That's why we write. You don't have to journal in a book. You can journal on your phone. You can journal on your computer, wherever it makes you happy. You can journal in your head if you want. Just, go over the thoughts of the day, and, maybe if you want to, you can write something on a piece of paper and just recycle it. Just throw it away in the recycle bin and say, you know what, those thoughts are out of my head. That happened today. I'm over it. I'm letting it go. And if you have the residual feelings that are still part of that, then allow yourself to move through it, right? You have to go through it to grow through it. So slowly nurture your sense of wonder to all that is around you. You may feel silly at first, but keep working on it to balance out the negative. Replace statements of what if everything goes wrong with what if everything is exactly as it should be. Now, if something's going wrong, you're thinking, well, how can I even fathom that this is how it should be? Maybe it's a lesson. Maybe it's a lesson that you need to learn. We know, yeah, lessons suck. Right? Think of it as like school. I mean, sure, some people like to go to school and learn lessons, but what about those really smart kids that get tripped up on a lesson that one person gets and they don't get it, and then it freaks them out for the rest of the day? I've seen that. I've seen that happen. It's just like, you know what? Just take a deep breath. It'll be okay. But we as humans get that way. What if everything is exactly as it should be? I know that's hard in certain situations. I really, really get how hard that can be in certain situations. When my mom died, one of the hardest things you ever have to hear is, well, she's out of pain and in a better place. It's like, yeah, I already know that. Thank you. But you have to be polite and nod and say, yeah, this is true. This is true. But it still hurts because you're not stupid, But this is a person that's no longer in your life. Same with Sissy. It's like when Sissy Joe passed, it's like, okay, yeah, she's in a better place, but she's not here. She's not here. Mom and her are not here. And we think about that, and that can kind of upend us because people mean well. People do mean well. We have all this stuff, well, don't say this, don't say that. You know what? People are going to say what they're going to say. It's how we react to it that makes a difference. And we can just say, you know what? Maybe it is exactly as it should be, but that doesn't mean I have to like it. But it does mean you have to move through it. And maybe that's the lesson. If something is going wrong, you have to figure out what the lesson is. And when you get through that lesson and you figure it out and you kind of approach it like an adult and not like a knee-jerking kid or a knee-jerking adult, done that too, you will figure out the lesson a lot faster. But when we come from it in a seeker's version of this and a mindfulness place, a mindful place, we react better. We don't sit there and have verbal wars. I've had verbal wars with people and it's not fun. It's not fun. And then there's so much shame afterwards, right? Everybody's mad at each other or they're afraid to say something. And, it's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. But if we can figure out how to just approach something and just have faith and trust that everything is going to work out the way it's supposed to work out. That maybe right now it isn't as it should be, because maybe they have a lesson they need to learn, maybe we have a lesson we need to learn, or maybe everybody involved has a lesson they need to learn. Then we can move through it. Remember, go through it to grow through it. So the balance seeker energy is one of empowerment, curiosity, and feeling confident to navigate both the external and internal worlds. So again, the balance seeker energy is one of empowerment, curiosity, and feeling confident to navigate both the external and internal worlds. So let's see. If the seeker is out of balance, you may be a bit untethered. You may be pushing yourself on to the next thing, thinking that may be your cure. A lot of times we tend to run from that. So the balance seeker is letting us know that we should feel empowered. We should feel curious. We should feel confident. Be curious about things. Be, exploratory about things. Feel confident that you know that you can handle something, whatever's thrown your way, even if it's hard. Even if you do fall down, maybe you get mad or you cry or you kick and scream, that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes we got to get all that crap out of us, right? No one's saying that you can't do this. It's like it says up here, it's a card of reclamation. It's not about ridding yourself of stress, but refining your essence, reclaiming your essence, reclaiming who you are, your power. Your essence is your power. And that's what a balance seeker is. They're empowered, they're curious, and they feel confident enough to navigate both the internal and external worlds. They can handle whatever's being thrown at them internally, and they can do it well. If they're out of balance, they may feel untethered. I mean, come on, how many of us have felt untethered? I mean, I think at least once a month, if not more, somebody loses, somebody gets unhinged just a bit, and everything feels like it's like, you feel like you're in a cyclone and you're getting dizzy, and then you just plopped back on the earth like just a piece of sludge. It happens. It happens. So, sometimes we may push ourselves, this can cause us to really push ourselves on to the next thing. Because, like the next line here, an unbalanced seeker energy may also give their power away to others. As seekers, we must remember that we are gathering experiences and wisdom for growth, not because we believe it is a prescription to fix our perceived issues. So here, we have to remember that we are gathering experiences and wisdom for growth. But we also have to not give our power away. When somebody comes at us or says mean things or does mean things, or some random stranger says something horrible to you, don't give them your power. Just take a step back, take a deep breath. Okay, take a deep breath. And, I can't say I don't react. I've reacted. Oh, I've reacted. I've had my fair share of reactions in this lifetime. And I think that's just part of me. I mean, not my extreme reactions to certain things are not a part of me. I think we just get pushed to the edge, and we don't like being bullied, and we don't like seeing people being bullied. And so we will react. We'll go into protective mode. And I've done that several times for people I didn't even know. And that's not a brag. That's not a humble brag. That's just how some of us are built. But, we also have to learn how to protect ourselves. Because I'm terrible at that. It's like older sibling. Older sibling, she doesn't really stand up for herself. But boy, don't piss her off if you hurt somebody that she cares about, because she will be on you like, bam. Seriously. All 5 feet of her. And, 5 foot and 3/4 of her. I could hear the correction. But yeah, don't mess with, don't mess with her when it comes to other people. But we tend to give our power away to other people when people come at us. We tend to give our power away because we don't know how to defend ourselves. And that's another way where body mindfulness comes in. It's your body isn't just about what you look like in the reflection. It is everything, guys. It is all however many feet and inches of you. And when we care about things, when we worry about people, when we love people, sometimes we give our power away to them. And we fall apart. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. I cannot tell you. And I'm sure that down the road it'll probably happen again. where you just give your, and it's not just even in relationships. You could do it in family relationships, friendships. I can't tell you how many times I've given away my power in friendships and let people walk all over me, or take and not give back. And it's hard. It's hard. But we learn. At some point we learn and say, hey, you know what? I can't do everything for everyone. I have to make sure I am taken care of as well. Because when we become unbalanced in here, that can affect our complete body mindfulness. And and like I said earlier, I do believe that body mindfulness is actually what leads up to body positivity. When you become mindful of who you are at this moment in this time, and you love that person in the mirror no matter what you think other people see. Because sometimes I think, we look in the mirror and think, yeah, I'm having a great day. Doesn't matter what size we are. It's like, I'm loving my outfit. I'm loving my hair. If you wear makeup, I'm loving the makeup. And then you walk outside and maybe someone thinks that the outfit you're wearing is inappropriate for you. I'm at this age now where people are saying, like, I get these articles. What is the best hairdo for people of this age? What is the best way to dress for people of this age? And the first thing I just want to do is flip these people off. Because it's like, you know what? Don't tell me how I should dress. Don't tell me how long or short my hair should be. Don't tell me what kind of glasses I should wear, or whether I should wear contacts, or if I should wear this kind of makeup or that kind of makeup. Just leave people alone. Let them be who they want to be, because that can affect how they see themselves. That can affect their mindfulness of who they see in the mirror. You can have someone who walks out, feels like, they're 100%, 1000%, and one comment, if you do not have a strong, healthy body mindfulness or positivity, can just tear you down to zero. Because we put too much of our self-worth into other people's hands. And we should not be doing that. Your self-worth has to come from you. Every wonderful, beautiful, amazing thing that is said to you, that's compliments or kudos or whatever, those are the bonus things. Those are bonuses. Those really kind of make our cup overflow. But we have to fill our cup. We have to be the ones. We have to be the ones who appreciate who we see in the mirror every single moment of every single day. Whether it's a reflection in a car window, or a car that's shiny, or, a store window, the mirror, the bathroom, wherever. We have to learn to see ourselves. We have to learn how to love ourselves, because that's what's important. That's what means so much. Our self-worth has to come from in here. And a lot of times it starts up here. It's a reminder to tell your brain, to remind your soul. Or, it's really, I shouldn't even say tell your brain to remind your soul. I think your heart and your soul are trying to tell you, hey, brain, get on board with us. Because, you may think still, after someone says something horrible to you, that, well, I thought I looked good when I left the house today. Don't worry about what other people say. There's always going to be somebody out there who has to make a comment about something. Okay? And a lot of times that can affect the way we look. We look at ourselves. Maybe they make an icky comment about your size, or what you're wearing, or how you're wearing your hair. Don't worry about them. Just be you. Everybody always talks about this term, the authentic self, right? The authentic you. Just be you. Who cares? I have a friend who's about 10 years older than me, and her hair it changes colors. Right now I love it. It's like super bright pink, and she's a mom, she's a wife, she's a grandma, and she don't give a shit. And that's what I love about it. She's just being who she is. She has piercings, and she's just, she's amazing. She's amazing. Not because of the way she looks, but just because she's such a beautiful soul. But how many people get to learn that because they're too busy judging what she looks like on the outside? And I don't think about it. I think she just popped into my head because it's kind of like, yeah, I'm going to talk about this because that's right. If I want to wear a pair of Doc Martens with a spring dress, I'm going to do it. And I have done it. If I want to wear the purple tights, I'm going to wear the purple tights because I have. It's just about being who we are. Be confident. Love yourself. Have that self-worth. Have that self-awareness when somebody tries to tear you down. Maybe they're not feeling good about themselves, or Or maybe they got nothing better to do than to judge other people because they can't face their own crap. Or maybe they just feel like they need to feel superior to someone. But you know what? No one's better than anybody. We all bring something beautiful and special to this table. That's a lesson I had to learn a long time ago, and it's a lesson I still keep from Mom Barbara. And I'm always going to be grateful that she taught me that lesson. So, anyways, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you back here Monday for bonus days of body mindfulness. Yeah, we're not done yet. We're gonna make sure that this house of body mindfulness that we built not only has the proper foundation, the proper walls, the proper roof, but we're going to start filling it with that furniture now. Okay, this is the same analogy I use for self-love. When we built the foundation, we built the walls, we built the roof, and then there was kind of like the extra stuff where we just come in and we remind ourselves that, you can't live in a home without furniture. I mean, you can, but how comfortable is that? No, you want to make this place of your body mindfulness as cozy for you as you can, because it's the place that you need to return to when you're not feeling good about yourself, when you feel like putting yourself down, or maybe you see somebody that you're like, oh, I wish I looked like them. And I watched a show yesterday and I thought, ooh, this is a Halloween goal for next year, not this year. And for me, it's just because, no, I don't have the confidence right now to pull off something like that. But I know I'm starting to work on things. I'm starting to, my doctor and I are working on things. And I know it's something to shoot for. Now, the first thing that comes to my head is people would be like, seriously, you're how old and you want to do? It's like, you know what? Who cares? Who cares? Don't let people get into your head. Do not, someone's always going to try. Don't let them live in there rent free. Okay? Don't give them space. Take your power back. When you are stressed out, remind yourself of your essence and that you can handle this. If something feels like it's going to go wrong, instead of saying, what if everything goes wrong? Say, what if everything is exactly as it should be? Give yourself the leg up that you deserve. Give yourself the help that you deserve. Okay? Self-care is not selfish. It is necessary. So, again, I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll see you back here on Monday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time, Facebook Live. All lives are public under Shelley Marie Lucas. Anybody can watch. Okay, anybody can watch. We do not need to be Facebook friends. I also share it to my Facebook page, The Aloha Perspective, and I upload it to YouTube under The Aloha Perspective. If you would like the shorter version of this, of body mindfulness, you can check out my TikTok series that I'm doing on body mindfulness under The Aloha Perspective, where they're all basically 10 minutes or less. And I don't say as much as I say here, so obviously. So have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.